Good morning, afternoon, or evening. How are you doing? Welcome back to Mr. Morrow's algebra class. Today we're going to get close to wrapping up linear equations. We still have another section to do for scatter plots. But today we're going to formalize all three ways of being able to write and or graph a linear function. And the last one that we're going to learn today is the point slope form. But you know, I like to always review things, so let's just make sure we have a good working understanding, good working knowledge of where we've gone so far. We have talked about the slope-intercept form. And the slope-intercept form, of course, is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. That's your rise over run, represented by the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. B is your y-intercept. That is the y value on the y-axis when x is 0. X is independent and y is dependent on x. Let's go to 3 first because we did standard form already. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. Okay, so when you have the x and the y together on the same side, this is a great way to graph if a and b are factors of c. And then the last one, the one we're going to learn today, is the point slope form. And the point slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. What do these letters represent? Well, m, of course, hopefully by now you remember that equals slope. And then your x1 comma y1, that will be the given point. They're going to give you a given point. They're going to give you a point. Okay? At least one, maybe two, but at least 1 point. And that is your x1, y1. Now, we have already learned how to work with the slope-intercept form, which is by far the best form to use when graphing a linear equation. Okay? So, slope-intercept form is good for graphing. We've also learned how to work with the standard form of a linear equation, which is great for finding the x and y intercepts. And then today, we will learn how to use the point slope form, which is the best form for sure by far when writing a linear equation. So slope-intercept form we usually use when we want to graph it. Standard form we use usually when we want to find the x and y intercepts. Point slope form is what we use when we want to actually find the equation. May I continue? Okay, let's do this. So the point slope form. Point slope form y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where x1, y1 is a given point. Okay? Since you will always be given one of the two. You're either going to be given the slope and 1 point, which is your x1, y1. You're either going to be given a slope and 1 point, or you're going to be given 2 points. If you're given 2 points, okay, that can give you the slope. And either one of the points that was given could be your x1, y1. Those are the two categories that you're going to have to work with. They're either going to give you 1 point and a slope. You literally plug it into the equation, solve for y. Or they give you 2 points. And then you have to find the slope from there and then use either one of those points to solve for the equation. Remember to always use the slope form, point slope form of linear equations to write linear equations. This is the easiest way to write the equations. So let me explain how to do this. A line passes through negative 5, 2 with a slope of 3/5. Please remember that m right off the bat is 3/5. And this point that they gave you, that's my x1, y1. Negative 5, 2, that's my x1, y1. Does everyone see what I've been given so far? My friends? Does everyone see what I have been given so far? Yes? You sure? Okay, so number 1. Find the slope and label the given point, x1, y1. So my slope, we already did that. That's 3/5. And my x1, comma y1, they gave us the point, is -5, comma 2. Does everyone see that, gentlemen? Got a question, my man? Okay. Good stuff. Number 2. Number 2. There we go. Plug in the slope and the x1, y1 into the point slope form. And you're done. The equation is now in point slope form. In order to convert the equation into slope intercept form, simply solve for y so as to put it in y equals mx plus b form. So, what are we saying? They're going to ask you to write this equation, but it depends on how they ask you to write it. They want you to write it in slope-intercept form. That's what they want. So, we know that we're working with y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I've got y minus y1. What was my y1?
Teachers, please pardon interruption.
What was my y1, guys?
Irish class. It was a fall.
Okay, sorry about that. So guys, what is my y1? 2. So y minus y1, which is 2, equals m. What's my m? What's my slope? 3/5 times x minus x1. What's my x1? -5. So remember, it's minus x1. So this is going to equal y minus 2 equals 3/5 times x plus 5. That is my equation in point slope form. Does everyone see that? Guys? That is in point slope form. You with me? Now, did they ask for it in point slope form or slope intercept form? Slope intercept. So slope intercept form equals y equals mx plus b, right? So how do I get this into slope intercept form? What do I have to solve for? For y. So y minus 2 equals 3/5 x. I got to distribute. Plus 3. Add the 2 to both sides. Y equals 3/5 x plus 5. That is slope intercept form. Do you guys see the difference? Hello? Yes or no, guys? This is why I'm here, to teach you, to help you. Talk to me. Y equals mx plus b is slope intercept form. If they tell you put it in point slope form, that's it. You're done. Y minus y1 equals m times x plus x minus x1. You're done if they say point slope form. If they say slope intercept form, you got to go further. You got to solve for y. Now let's just take this to one last place. What if I say I want the equation in all three forms? So I want it in standard form as well. We talked about this. How do I get this into standard form? How do I get this into standard form, guys? Yes, sir? No? Oh, yeah, you want to get the 5 alone, you want to get the x and y together. So I taught you guys to get rid of the denominator. So I've got 5y equals 3x plus 25. Subtract my 3x to both sides. So I got negative 3x plus 5y equals 25. And that would be standard form. And now you have all three types. So this is actually extremely easy if you know how to solve equations. If you don't know how to solve equations, this can really blow your mind. So I suggest you guys practice. Does that make sense, everybody? We know how to go to slope point slope form, then solve for y to get the slope intercept form, then put the y and the x together, get rid of all fractions to get the standard form. Next. Now, write the equation of a line in both point slope form and B slope intercept form for a line that passes through -3, 6 and has a slope of -5. Okay, what's my slope here? What's my m? -5. What's my x1, y1? Very good. So, first things first, point slope form. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus 6 equals -5 times x plus 3. You are done with your point slope form. Does that make sense to everybody in this room? Please talk to me, guys. Yes, sir. Okay. Now, in blue, I want to write it now, because I have to, in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So who do I have to solve for here? The y. Very good. How do I start solving? Very good, son. First you distribute. Well done. Y minus 6 equals -5x minus 15. And then? You don't switch anything over. I want to solve for y. I don't subtract 6. I add 6 to both sides, so I get rid of addition with subtraction, subtraction with addition. So y equals -5x minus 9. That is my slope-intercept form. Does that make sense, gentlemen? Guys, you're going to have to do this in the homework. I promise you're going to have to do this on the quiz. And I double promise you're going to have to do this on the test. And if you don't know how to do this, tomorrow's lesson of perpendicular and parallel lines are going to be extremely difficult. So again, does everyone see what I'm doing so far? Okay. Number 3. Now we're going to change it up a little bit. A line passes through 3, 2, and 5, 8. What is an equation of the line in both point slope form and slope intercept form? All right, well, they gave us 3, 2, and 5, 8. So the first thing I need to do is find the slope. So before I find slope, I got to label the points that was given. x1, y1, x2, y2. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is 4 over 2, which is 2. So my slope is 2. So now I'm going to put it into slope point slope form. Y minus y1. What's my y1? 2. Yes? Thank you very much, son. I made a mistake. Great eyes. Thank you, son. Thank you for paying attention, brother. Thank you. The slope is 3. I was wrong. Thank you. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That's it. That's point slope form. You're done. You are done with the point slope form. Done, done, done. Now, I want it in slope intercept form as well. So I have y minus 2 equals 3 times x minus 3. How do I get this into slope intercept form? First distribute. Thank you very much, my brother. Y minus 2 equals 3x minus 9. Add 2 to both sides. Y equals 3x minus 7. This is the same equation, but in slope intercept form. Does that make sense, gentlemen? You promise? Okay. Now, what if I do this to you? What is the graph of the equation y minus 1 equals 2/3 x minus 2? There's two ways to skin this cat. I'm curious to see what you guys would think would be a way to do this. What's one way to do this? Yes, sir. Okay, you can solve for y. Y minus 1 equals 2/3 x minus 4/3. Then I add 1 to both sides. Y equals 2/3 x. That goes to a 3. That goes to 3. Okay, minus 1/3. So you could do that, but what's the problem here with this, graphing this? What's the problem here? No, it does not matter the work. The work is not the problem. What's the problem with graphing this? Thank you. It's going to be extremely difficult to graph a negative 1/3. So you could turn it into slope-intercept form, but it's not going to help you in this case. Now, what if you guys remember the formula? Y minus 1 equals m times x minus x1. Guys, if it's y minus y1, what's my y1? 1. And if it's x minus x2, what's my x1? So guys, don't I have the point 2, 1, which is right here?
No, it's negative.
No, if it was a negative times a negative would have been a positive. If it would have been a positive 2 here, then a negative times negative would have been a positive. Y1 is also positive. Okay. It's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You already have a minus, so the y1 is 1. If y1 was negative 1, a negative times a negative would be a positive. Okay, be careful with those integers, guys. That's what kills you guys. So I have the point 2, 1. What's my slope? 2 over 1. No, it's 2/3. So I go up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Ain't that a lot easier? And ping pong boom, that's it. Does that make sense to everybody? You promise? Awesome. Hope you learned a lot. Have a great day.